Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we have a captivating story to share with you, one that's steeped in history, mystery, and wisdom. We're diving deep into the life and times of the legendary King Solomon. Join us as we explore his incredible rise, his reign, and the enigmatic circumstances surrounding his death and burial. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, so you won't miss any of our historical adventures. Let's get started. King Solomon, known for his unparalleled wisdom and remarkable reign, is a prominent figure in biblical history. His journey from birth to kingship is a fascinating narrative that continues to inspire and intrigue people to this day. The birth of Solomon is indeed a pivotal and intriguing moment in the history of the Davidic dynasty, marked by a series of events that had profound implications for the future of Israel. This story, as recorded in the Bible, begins with David, the beloved king of Israel, whose life took an unexpected turn. David, known for his military prowess, musical talents, and deep connection with God, found himself on a fateful path when he first laid eyes on Bathsheba. Bathsheba was the wife of Uriah the Hittite, one of David's trusted warriors, who was away at the front lines of battle. David, upon seeing Bathsheba bathing on her rooftop, was overcome with desire and, in a grave lapse of judgment, succumbed to his desires. He sent for Bathsheba, and the two engaged in an adulterous affair. Their illicit union bore consequences that would resonate throughout Israel's history. Bathsheba became pregnant, and David's initial attempt to cover up the affair by bringing Uriah back from the battlefront failed. In a desperate move, David ordered Uriah to be placed in the most perilous part of the battle, where he was killed. David's actions did not go unnoticed by God, and the prophet Nathan was divinely sent to confront the king about his grave sins. Nathan's parable about a rich man who took a poor man's only beloved lamb struck David's conscience, and he realized the gravity of his deeds. Nathan then delivered God's judgment upon David's household, proclaiming that the child born from his adulterous union with Bathsheba would die. It is within this context of sin and divine retribution that Solomon's birth is introduced. Bathsheba, after the death of her first son with David, conceived once again. This time, God's favor was upon the child, and Solomon was born. His given name, Jedediah, meaning beloved of the Lord, was a testament to God's grace and love, despite the circumstances of his birth. 2 Samuel 12:24-25. The transition of power from King David to Solomon marked a pivotal moment in the history of Israel. It was a process that involved political intrigue, divine intervention, and a delicate balance of power within the royal family. Adonijah, one of David's older sons, initially attempted to seize the throne after David's advanced age raised concerns about his successor. Adonijah's actions, which included declaring himself king and gaining the support of some influential figures, posed a significant challenge to Solomon's legitimacy as the heir apparent. 1 Kings 1:5-10. The prophet Nathan, who had been a trusted advisor to David, recognized the potential danger of Adonijah's ambitions and decided to take action. Nathan, with Bathsheba, approached David to remind him of his promise to make Solomon king. They argued that Adonijah's actions were a direct threat to Solomon's position and could lead to instability in the kingdom. 1 Kings 1:11-21. Upon realizing the urgency of the situation and reaffirming his promise to Bathsheba, David acted swiftly. He publicly declared Solomon as his chosen successor and ordered him to be anointed as king. The coronation of Solomon took place in a grand ceremony, accompanied by the sounding of trumpets and shouts of "Long live King Solomon." 1 Kings 1:28-40. Adonijah's plot quickly unraveled as news of Solomon's anointing spread. Those who had initially supported Adonijah began to disperse, fearing the consequences of opposing the newly appointed king. Adonijah sought Solomon's mercy, which Solomon granted, with the condition that he remained faithful to the new king. 1 Kings 1:50-53. With the formal anointing of Solomon, he officially became the king of Israel at a relatively young age, around 20 years old. This marked the beginning of his rule over the United Kingdom of Israel, inheriting the legacy of his father, David. Kings 2:12. Solomon's encounter with God and the granting of wisdom in his dream is a profound and iconic moment in his life. It not only shaped his reign, but also served as a lesson in the value of wisdom and humility. The biblical account of Solomon's encounter with God describes it as a dream that took place at Gibeon, a prominent high place where the tabernacle of the Lord was situated. In this dream, God appeared to Solomon and offered to fulfill any request he made. 1 Kings 3:5. Rather than asking for material wealth, power, or personal gain, Solomon's response showcased his wisdom even before receiving it. He acknowledged his own limitations and inadequacies in ruling over God's people, Israel. He asked for an understanding mind or wisdom to govern justly, to discern between right and wrong, and to lead with righteousness. 1 Kings 3:9. God was not only pleased with Solomon's request, but also impressed by his desire for wisdom over personal gain. God granted his request for wisdom, promising to give him a wise and discerning heart, unlike any king before or after him. In addition to wisdom, God blessed Solomon with riches and honor, making him greater in riches and wisdom than all the other kings of his time. 1 Kings 3:10-14. Solomon's newfound wisdom became evident in his judgments and decisions as king. The most famous example is the story of the two women who came to him, each claiming to be the mother of a baby. Solomon's proposal to divide the baby in two to determine the true mother, which prompted the real mother to selflessly give up her claim to protect the child, showcased his extraordinary wisdom. 1 Kings 3:16-28. Solomon's wisdom extended beyond the courtroom. His proverbs and writings, many of which are preserved in the Bible, offer timeless guidance on various aspects of life, morality, and relationships. His wisdom became legendary, attracting visitors and ambassadors from distant lands who sought to hear his insights. 1 Kings 10:1-3. The encounter with God and the granting of wisdom to Solomon illustrate the principle of prioritizing wisdom and righteousness over personal gain. Solomon's extensive family, consisting of 700 wives and 300 concubines, is a well-documented aspect of his life, and it had significant consequences for his reign and the future of the kingdom. Additionally, Solomon's numerous marriages resulted in a sizable number of children. The Bible records that Solomon's many marriages were in direct violation of God's commandments for Israelite kings. Many of his wives were foreign women from various nations, including Egypt, Moab, Edom, Sidon, and more. 1 Kings 11:1-2. These marriages were often politically motivated to secure alliances and maintain peaceful relations with neighboring kingdoms. One of the issues arising from Solomon's diverse marriages was the influence of his foreign wives' religions. They brought their idolatrous practices and gods into the kingdom, which led Solomon to worship their deities, including Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. This religious syncretism deeply troubled God and resulted in his anger against Solomon. Because of Solomon's disobedience and idolatry, God decided to punish him and his descendants. He declared that the kingdom would be torn from Solomon's son, but not during his lifetime, as a sign of God's respect for David. This prophecy had a profound impact on the future of the Israelite monarchy. The Bible mentions specific children of Solomon, although it's challenging to provide an exhaustive list due to the large number of wives and children. Notable among his children is Rehoboam, his son with Naamah the Ammonites. Rehoboam succeeded Solomon as king of Israel, but faced the consequences of his father's actions as the kingdom was divided during his reign. Other children include Jeremoth, Shobab, and many unnamed sons and daughters. The complex family dynamics within Solomon's household and the tension between his sons contributed to the division of the kingdom after his death. The northern 10 tribes rebelled under the leadership of Jeroboam, while the tribes of Judah and Benjamin remained loyal to Rehoboam, leading to the division of the kingdom into Israel, the northern kingdom, and Judah, the southern kingdom. The consequences of his disobedience to God's commandments are evident in the challenges his family and descendants faced. Solomon's reign was marked by prosperity and wisdom. He is best known for overseeing the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem, a magnificent structure that became the center of Israelite worship, the 1 Kings 6. His reputation for wisdom attracted people from far and wide, including the famous visit of the Queen of Sheba. The latter years of Solomon's reign were indeed marked by a gradual shift away from the faithful worship of God, and the consequences of his actions had a profound impact on the future of the Israelite monarchy. God's anger with Solomon's idolatry and the worship of foreign gods led to a significant pronouncement. Through the prophet Ahijah, God declared that he would tear the kingdom away from Solomon's descendants, leaving him only one tribe, Judah, for the sake of his father David and for the city of Jerusalem, where God had chosen to place. His name, 1 Kings 11:9-13. Solomon reigned for a total of 40 years, during which Israel experienced a period of unprecedented splendor. He died, and according to the Bible, he was buried in the city of David, alongside his father, King David. This final resting place symbolized the continuation of the Davidic dynasty, even in the face of the kingdom's division. 1 Kings 11:42-43. After Solomon's death, his son Rehoboam ascended to the throne. Rehoboam's reign immediately encountered resistance from the northern tribes of Israel, led by Jeroboam. The people requested relief from the heavy labor imposed during Solomon's reign. When Rehoboam refused to ease their burdens, the northern tribes rebelled, resulting in the division of the kingdom. The northern kingdom became known as Israel, while the southern kingdom remained as Judah. Despite his wisdom, Solomon's later years were marred by significant challenges and tragic flaws due to his many wives and concubines that led to God's anger upon him. The story of Solomon serves as a powerful lesson about the importance of faithfulness to God's commandments. Despite his wisdom and early devotion, he allowed his desires and political alliances to lead him astray. His experience underscores the need for steadfastness in one's faith and the potential consequences of straying from God's path. King Solomon's life represents a multifaceted narrative that resonates through the ages. His wisdom, grandeur, and tragic flaws provide a comprehensive perspective on the complexities of human existence and the enduring importance of remaining faithful to God's commandments. His legacy continues to be a source of reflection, offering valuable insights and lessons for all who explore the pages of biblical history. King Solomon's story is an epic journey, from his rise to power and his illustrious reign to the enigma surrounding his death and burial. Join us next time as we continue our exploration of divine narratives. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. And of course, subscribe for more thrilling biblical events. Until next time, stay faithful and stay safe. Peace.